The next thing you need to consider is your headline. And your headline is the first thing that somebody is going to see if they're searching through profiles or they're looking for keywords on LinkedIn. There's a lot of scouting that goes on LinkedIn. So you want the first few words, your profile to be boom, this is who you are. So fill out the entire headline, use a company slogan if you can, or a synopsis of who you are and what you do. What you also then want to consider is how you address your skill sets in a relevant manner. So, your headline is going to be used in searches. It's what's going to come up for your rankings. So use the keywords, use the things that I guess is your synopsis that encapsulates you as a whole in your LinkedIn headline. From there, you can then use LinkedIn to nominate or to list out your projects. So add project links wherever you can, and a great way of listing, if you've worked on something or websites that you've been involved in or businesses that you've worked for, add project links in your LinkedIn profile. That's going to add more weight to your profile. The beauty about LinkedIn is it's actually got a rating that tells you what sort of profile you have, and if it's a bit sparse on information, LinkedIn's going to say, hey, you can do more, you can give us more information. So you really want to try that out and become a superstar from your LinkedIn page. What you also want to do is put concise details about those projects. So, you did this, you increased revenue from X to Y, you led a team of 5 or 10 or 15, you impacted net profit, you did this, you did that. A couple of key points, really concise bullet points about what you did, what you contributed to the project. The other thing you can do is, as I said, list a link or even a link to a PDF summary for somebody to take a look at. So if you want to give them more information, you can actually link them to another external resource. The next thing is your connection. So on LinkedIn, what you want to think about is how you build that network of people. So the first thing you want to do is start off with your friends, your families, your co-workers. You start off locally, people that you've worked with over time, people that people that you've maybe networked with at business events. So that's where you start. Then as you grow your profile, you can start to then offer connections with industry leaders or people that you resonate with. When you reach out to them, make sure that you connect with them in a meaningful way. And if you're using your LinkedIn profile regularly, again, you're going to talk about using good content and relevant content to your target audience, so that it gives you a reason for them to follow you. Then you want to also make sure that once you started building that network, figure out what other industry related or maybe even cross-section or cross industries professionals you can link with. So, for instance, with me, I might be in marketing, but I link with accountants because accountants are good referral networks. And likewise for me, I might recommend good accountants or accountants in particular regions for particular things. So building a referral network can be also really valuable when creating those connections. And the goal is to build that network, because once you've got a large network, you can then leverage that network to help build your business and help build other businesses yourself. If you really want to add credibility, the next thing you want to do on LinkedIn is your recommendations. And that's both giving and receiving recommendations, almost like testimonials. But what your goal is just like a skill. Put a shout out, send a link, and you can ask your contacts to leave a recommendation, to say, hey, Kevin was a really great professional, did this for us, acted in this way. What that does is that helps to give people a bit of an overview on who you are and the things that people have to say about who you are as an individual. What I would suggest is that you get recommendations from people that you've worked with. Don't falsify it. Don't ask randoms to leave LinkedIn recommendations for you. You want this to be legitimate. You want to have worked with them. You want to have done business with them. You want to have interacted with them on a very professional level or on a professional level. That's who you want to stick with. Then once you've done that, you also want to offer to return the favor. And that's the way it works. Somebody gives you a recommendation, you give them a recommendation back. So it's a two-way street. And the beauty about when you submit a recommendation is that you can actually review it before it goes live. And so you can say, hey, that wasn't quite accurate, or, really appreciate it. Would you mind saying this as well? If not, that's cool. Otherwise, you've got a chance to review it before that recommendation goes live. So build the recommendations up on your LinkedIn page. The next thing we want to talk about is private messaging or messaging others. So once you connect with them, send them a message, send them a bit of an overview. Make the best out of every single connection that you make. So if you don't know them and you want to connect with them, make sure that first message is, hey, I know we don't know each other. Love to connect with you. I think I can offer value. I'd love to do this for you. Whatever it might be, start that initial connection. Secondly, then, as you start to build those messages and build that connection, maybe what you can do is start to work out how you engage with them. So say, hey, maybe we can go have a cup of coffee together, or hey, let's get on a Skype call and talk about how, there might be some synergy, might be some opportunities. I don't expect anything, but let's have a chat. So it allows you to start building that broader network that you typically wouldn't have had access to. By having those conversations, that could then help you grow your company. It might be through a referral basis. You might find that by networking with somebody across a different industry, that you can send work each other's way. It might just be somebody that you could use. It could become a supplier to your business. So there's so many ways that you can use that messaging platform to create an information, to create dialogue and to start the conversation. And ultimately, by building that network, having that conversation, you won't know until you try. The next best way to grow your LinkedIn presence and to engage on LinkedIn is to join groups. So, for instance, I might be in Harvard Business Review, I might be in social media groups, in marketing groups, I'm in a number of them, and I love seeing the dialogue that takes place in those channels and wherever possible, contributing where I can. So people ask a lot of questions, and by answering those questions in those forums, it's going to provide engagement, it's going to give you credibility, and allows you to provide input at scale. Conversely, you can also ask questions. Use those groups to create engaging point of discussions. Ask what other people think, what they might be doing, how they're going about it. And it's going to, again, draw attention to yourself and your profile, and allow you to drive those meaningful relationships, building that network and creating an engagement with the people who may be able to do business with you or become a supplier to you in the future. And of course, by being in those groups, it allows you to open yourself up to connection, to start connecting with other members. The last thing you want to do is build up your endorsements. So what we call your skills endorsements. So on LinkedIn, what you can actually find is at the very bottom of your profile, you want to create, say, about 10 skills. So for me, it might be marketing, digital marketing, strategic marketing, business development, whatever it might be. So list out those top 10 skills that you want to be known for. Then, similar to recommendations, ask for your friends, families, connections, network to endorse those skills and agree to the fact that you are actually capable of delivering those key skills. And that's something that you'll find will add that credibility, and likewise do that for others as well. So go through your network's profiles and say, okay, I know Jim, and Jim is a really good accountant. So give him an endorsement for accounting or whatever it might be. So by giving endorsements, you're going to get endorsements, but it adds that credibility and also will help with the search to say, you're top when it comes to marketing, or you're top when it comes to sales, or you're top when it comes to human resources. So that's how you use LinkedIn, and that's where you would build your entire profile to leverage that to help grow that social media platform and your network as a whole.